Hey y'all, I'm Jenna and this is Staying Home with Autism. I apologize ahead of time if I'm kind of sniffly or sound a little nasally. My allergies are really bothering me today for some reason. I have horrible seasonal allergies, like terrible. Like I'm allergic to pollen. And usually I have to take 2 Benadryl every 4 hours for like a month before allergy season, so that it gets in my system before the allergies hit, and then like all through the spring. And then randomly, like every once in a while through the year, I'll have like this little allergy attack. And I don't know if it's something in the air today, or if I got like makeup on my nose, because in the past I haven't worn makeup a lot and I've been wearing it more recently just so I look a little bit more like alive and not as homely as I feel like I normally do. But this morning I was like getting the makeup out and I have this like twisty thing with like the, I don't even know what you call it, like the sponge tip. So like you twist it and the makeup starts to come up, but you can't always see like how much makeup's coming up through the sponge tip. Fisher. He's been doing that high-pitched squealing more often recently, which used to be a constant thing when he was really little, like before he got diagnosed with his autism. But anyway, so I guess maybe there was like too much makeup in the sponge. I didn't realize until I was already putting it on my face and like blended it all in. So I got like a little bit more on my face than I normally do. And so I don't know if it just got up my nose or what, because I didn't start having the allergy attack until after I put my makeup on. So I'm not really going anywhere else today other than to pick my older 5-year-old son up from school. So I might just go like wash all my makeup off and see if that helps. But anyway, short day for the boys today. I have a 5-year-old that I just mentioned, and I have a 3-year-old that was diagnosed with autism just after he turned 2 about a year and a half ago. And they had a short day today because the schools in our county, they go to 2 different schools, but all the schools, elementary schools in our county, had a half day today. And Fisher is in an inclusion preschool program in one of our public elementary schools. So normally he only goes for about 2.5 hours anyway, because they split the day in half. So there's a group of kids that go to morning session, and then the other group of kids go for about 2.5 hours for the afternoon session. So Fisher's in morning session. So when the school has a half day, morning preschool only goes to school for about an hour. So he actually got out at 10, and then all the bigger kids and my 5-year-old will get out at 12 o'clock today. So short day, but it wasn't bad because since he did have a short day and we live about 25 minutes from his school, I plan to stay close by because, I mean, by the time I drive home, I would have had to turn around and go right back to pick him up. And I got all my grocery shopping done last night. So I actually went and had coffee with an old friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a while. Her son was in preschool with my 5-year-old for the last couple years. And then they were zoned for different elementary schools this year, which was kind of a bummer. And so I hadn't really seen her in a while. So we just got together real quick and had some coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. And then I picked Fisher up and we came home. We had about an hour, and then we'll have to turn around and go pick up Big Brother. And then we're not doing anything else today. I have a lot of house cleaning to do. My house is a mess because we've been really busy this week. I was gone all day yesterday, Fisher had feeding therapy in the morning, and he had an assessment for a Medicaid waiver that we're applying for in the afternoon yesterday, and and then I wasn't planning on going anywhere last night, but when we were at the community service building for Fisher's waiver assessment, I actually met a really nice lady in the waiting room and who's familiar with autism. And she saw Fisher doing like a little mini puzzle that we carry around in his backpack. It's like this big, because he was kind of overwhelmed while we were waiting and didn't like the room for whatever reason and was kind of having some meltdowns, which she saw. So she knew he had autism. And so he was doing this little puzzle, and she was like, hey, I have some puzzle type things like ABC books, but you can actually connect the books together. And I have a Paw Patrol, like one of those foam floor mats that has like all the puzzle pieces that you stick together. She was like, there's a couple pieces missing, but my daughter doesn't use it anymore. And if you're interested, I would really like to give it to you instead of just, like donating it or like not knowing who was going to get it. Because it was obvious that Fisher was really into puzzles. And she was like, I would love for you to have it. I don't have to work tonight. If you're free, you can meet me tonight. Here's my phone number. So that was really, really nice of her to do that. And so after I got home and everything and we got dinner done, I texted her. And so then I had to leave, and I went and met her, and then we met at a grocery store because I had a couple of things I had to pick up for the boys anyway. And so I ended up just going in and like doing all my grocery shopping for the week so I could be done and not have to do it today and have it out of the way. So, but I ended up, talking to this very nice lady. We had a long conversation in the parking lot outside the grocery store last night. And so I ended up not getting home until after bedtime. So my husband got the boys down for me last night and got them to sleep. Apologize again for the sniffling. So yeah, it was really nice of her to do that last night. And so anyway, with all of that, I was basically gone all day long yesterday. And so there's a lot of things that need to be done around the house. The kitchen is a mess. My sink is full of dishes. My dishwasher still needs to be unloaded from 2 days ago. There's laundry to do. There's some clutter on like tables that need to be picked up. And I really want to try to get cleaned up this afternoon because Lucas has a friend that's coming over for the day to play tomorrow and possibly have a sleepover. And so he's really excited about that. So I really want to try to get stuff kind of organized before he comes to play tomorrow. So I will probably spend the rest of my day trying to straighten up. And the boys will just have kind of like a chill day to relax. Lucas seemed kind of tired when he got up this morning. And so, yeah. So that's basically it for today. I felt like I had something specific that I wanted to talk about this morning, but maybe not. I mean, there's like a lot of things I could like talk about, but I feel like there are things I kind of have to like prep for so I can really think about what I want to say. But as far as like just what we're doing today and stuff, not really anything major happening. I hope everybody had a really good week and everybody's excited that it's Friday. My husband might be working tomorrow, possibly Sunday. He's been working a lot lately. He took last weekend off because it was his birthday. So this weekend he wanted to try to make up for it. And so I'm not sure if he'll be working or not. So it might just be me and the boys just hanging out this weekend, and Lucas will have his friend here. Fisher will be excited about that too. That's one thing I can talk about today. So in the past, ever since Fisher was little, before he got his diagnosis, He really hasn't shown an interest in other children. When he was a baby, he seemed to notice his older brother and us, and he would engage and laugh and like peekaboo and stuff. Up until he was probably about, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10 months old. He still always liked peekaboo, but that was like one of the only activities you could do to get him to engage, especially Lucas. Lucas could like pop out from behind something and like kind of scare him, and Fisher would think it was hilarious. But that was pretty much it. Other than that, he never tried to initiate any kind of play with Lucas. He didn't try to do toys on his own, let alone with Lucas, or any other kids. I remember we went to a Christmas show that Lucas's class was in preschool. Where the kids sing and, Christmas songs and stuff like that. And so we took Fisher, and he was in the stroller, and this was before his diagnosis. So he had to have been probably 16 months old at the time. And he's sitting in the stroller watching the pageant, and another little boy walks up to the stroller, looked like he was right around the exact same age as Fisher. Walks over to the stroller. He's trying to look at Fisher, obviously trying to initiate some kind of play and showing that he's curious. And Fisher did not even look at him. He had no notice that the child was standing right by his face in the stroller. Yeah, so Fisher just didn't even notice the child at all. And that's just how it was with his brother and any other child, adults that he didn't know. He's always kind of been more engaged with myself and adult family members that he was around all the time. But children, just no interest at all. What's the matter? You need help? Help? But lately, Fisher seems to be taking more notice, which we had talked about over the summer with his teacher, noticing the other kids in his class a little bit more. Still not really imitating what they were doing, but at least stopping for a couple of seconds. You want mommy to do that? Just to look at what they're doing and then move on. But I have mentioned in some of my other videos that this year we were started picking up our neighbor's children a couple days a week after school for a couple hours till she gets home from work. And they're older, both older than Lucas. And Fisher would, I don't know, like, I know he would notice them getting in the car when we picked them up in the afternoon. But when we would come home, he really didn't make a point to play with them unless one of them would like start to chase him, and he would think that was funny, like the typical only way that he's always engaged with other children, chasing and peekaboo. But other than that, he would just do his own thing, doing his puzzles, watching his movies, running around, whatever. But recently, and I want to say this started about 2 weeks ago. Sorry, y'all. My nose is just like, crazy. I want to say it started about 2 weeks ago. We don't pick up the other kids every day. Like I said, it's just a couple days a week. And the days that we don't pick them up, when Lucas comes out to the car and the other two children are not there, Fisher has been getting very upset. He'll start to like throw a fit, and like kick the back of my seat and start crying and get very mad, and he'll like throw his cup. Typical stuff that he does when he's having a tantrum or starting to have a meltdown. But the days that we pick up the other two boys, he's not doing that. So he's showing through that he is noticing the other kids and that he likes having them around. So even though he is not initiating play with them, which is typical for autism, and they always say, especially when they start getting a little bit bigger, that even though it looks like they're kind of secluding themselves and it may seem like they don't have any interest in playing with other kids, that's not the case. They just don't know how to initiate it. They don't have those social skills and instinct to automatically know how to initiate play. And so even though he's not initiating play with them when they're here or always showing them attention, he is showing now by having that tantrum when we don't pick them up that he likes having them around and wants them here. So that's kind of cool. That he's showing that. I feel bad for him that he's like having these meltdowns. He's getting so upset when we don't pick him up. But it's cool that he's showing that he is noticing and he is enjoying having other kids around. So it's progress. It's small, but it's progress. And any signs that he shows that he's continuing to move forward and picking up new skills or whatever is always a good thing. So anyway, that was just a quick thing that I thought I could mention today. I'm going to go wash this makeup off my face, see if that helps my allergies. I might have to take a Benadryl. And then in about 5 minutes, we're going to head out and go pick up Big Brother. Oh my gosh, y'all. So anyway, hope everybody has a great week. Happy Friday and have a fabulous weekend. See y'all later.